Hello, hello, magical souls. We are talking about one of my favorite subjects today, and that is what happens when we dream. So we've been talking about sleep over the last three episodes, and I decided to ask the Akashic Record keepers and guides, what does it mean when we dream? What is the purpose of a dream? What is dreaming all about? And the Akashic Record Keepers and Guides described dreams as a bridge between the conscious mind and the wisdom of the soul. So that's where we go to when we dream, we are receiving information from our soul. Some people might say the higher self is communicating with us. Some people say that the subconscious mind is communicating with us during the dream time. But whatever it is, the record keepers and guides say that's information coming through for you. And they explained also that not every dream carries profound spiritual significance. So some dreams simply help us process the events of our life, but certain dreams can have invitations for us to remember, or they could have invitations for us to heal, or invitations to listen. And the guides then went on to explain that during dream time, we may receive symbolic guidance. And that's the thing that I also wanted to mention is that a lot of people come to me for a reading, an Akashic Record reading, or to do some spiritual work, and they want to do everything in a very literal way. And I can understand that because in this physical dimension, we are taught very, very early on to deal with facts, to deal with specific, let's call them recipes, that you have to follow to the T to get everything right. But when it comes to your spiritual journey and when it comes to dreaming and sleeping, it's very important to get into flow with Source, with God, with the the um, I would say maybe with the journey of your soul. And that's not going to be a solid, clear cut system or recipe. And that's not what this physical dimension is about. This physical dimension is a little bit about that, but it's also about being in flow. And you'll find that the more you're in flow and the more you work with the energy of your spirit guides, with your higher self, with source, the better the physical shows up. So people say, "Oh, I need more money," but actually they're out of sync with their soul. So it's very difficult for their soul or the beings of light or their guides or their higher self to bring them the money that they are asking for when they're out of alignment. And it can feel very counterintuitive because we're taught one thing at school, from our parents, from society. But when we actually drill down into it, it's far better to go with instinct, intuition, following the energy of your guides. You're going to get much more out of your life if you do that. And the same thing applies to dreaming. And what you can also be doing is connecting to your higher self, which is very, very important. And the other thing that comes forward during dreams is possible futures or future possibilities, however you want to look at that. And that can be also very interesting because you will have some premonitions, perhaps. And a lot of people come to me because they have regular dreams, the same dream all the time, or the same pattern of dreams. So we open up the records and we look at what's actually going on for you um, at a soul level, at a spiritual level, at a physical level, because the guides do overlap with the physical, because they understand that we are in a physical body having a physical experience, but we're a spiritual soul having a physical experience, not a physical soul having sometimes a spiritual experience. We definitely need to look at it the other way around in order to be successful, in order to feel fulfilled in our lives, and in order to make the best of this lifetime and complete our mission and purpose so that we don't have to come back if we don't want to at the end of our lives we can then choose, do we want to come back and do something else? Or have we cleared up all the karma? Have we completed our mission? And we can go on to the next level. So, the other thing that comes up during dreaming is rehearsing life lessons from your soul's perspective. So, your soul will be giving you information. So, some people are incredibly passionate about maybe being an artist or a photographer or um, anything you can think of. But society has told them, no, you cannot have that. And that then goes against your soul's um, mission and purpose for you. So that can end up making your life very difficult. You'll feel very unfulfilled and possibly even cause dis-ease in your physical body. So a lot of people that end up with very serious diseases, it's because they have denied who they are at a soul level. So that's another thing that your soul will be telling you. And say if you did, for example, book an Akashic record reading with me, I'd open up your records and your record keepers and guides would tell you who you are at a soul level. And when I tell people who they are at a soul level, they are normally very delighted because they've always guessed that and they don't know how they knew that. But they denied it upon waking, or they denied it in the real world. Let's call it the real world. But yeah, so it's definitely very interesting to find out who you are and to start getting back on track to who you are supposed to be in this lifetime. Okay, so some of us have to completely ignore everything we were taught and actually go against the wishes of the family. Um, I have to raise my hand for that one. There's not anybody in my family that would have that rejoicing that I'm doing this work. They would much rather me be an accountant. I think that's what they said. Whew, that would not work out well. Okay, so the challenge that a lot of us have is that we dismiss our dreams before giving them an opportunity to fully come forward. We dismiss everything, saying that, that's just fairy tales, it's not real. And that's also, again, another way of denying ourselves to be who we are. But the Akashic Record Keepers and Guides encourage us to become curious. They say, why don't you keep a notebook, keep a dream journal, and start making a note of the dreams you have, and then you might start to see some patterns forming, and you might start to notice that the pattern will give you a lot of information and insight as to where you need to go. If you don't want to do an Akashic record reading and find out the fast way, then obviously you can do it a much more methodical, natural way by writing down your dreams. But one thing that the guides do say, very importantly, is that fear-based interpretations of your dream rarely serve you. So if you're feeling like, for example, last night I had a dream of three big tarantulas were on the bed with me. And obviously your physical human side starts to panic. And as I did, my heart rate went so high. And I was just in that state of being asleep, but then sort of coming out into the physical. And I had to just calm my mind and say, firstly, they're not real. And secondly, the very interesting thing is if you dream of spiders, that's a sign that money's coming in. And the bigger, the hairier, the scarier, the more money is coming in. And I had three big, hairy, scary spiders on the bed with me this morning. So I'm looking forward to whatever comes forward now that my heart is back in my chest and I can breathe again. That was terrifying. But I just calmed myself and I said, okay, this is a wonderful message from my spirit team to say the money's coming and I can just relax and get on with whatever I need to be getting on with, which is fabulous. Okay, so the other thing that the guides talk about is that your dreams may be one of the ways that it gently guides you to where you need to be. And you can also ask, you don't have to be sort of what some people call a victim to their dreams. You can actually ask for gentle information. You can ask to be, you can ask Archangel Michael before you go to sleep that you have a really good night's sleep and that you wake up refreshed with insights rather than fear. And you can say the same to the physical, well, the guides, the metaphysical guides that you connect with, whether it's Saint Germain, the goddess of liberty, or the divine, the creator, source, God, whoever you want to work with. Ask them to help you during your dream time so that you get the best out of your sleep time and that you wake up refreshed, feeling better than you did the day before, maybe even feeling younger than you did before, and so that you can have an amazing physical experience the following day. So I do wish you a very good night's sleep tonight, whatever happens. I hope that your nights are very restful, that your dreams are very illuminating, and that your connection with your own inner wisdom continues to deepen every night. Until next time, have a very magical day. Take care.